In a league where you have players such as LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, who basically year after year have routine MVP seasons, it's hard for other players to get the recognition that they deserve. And then when you also have players coming up that are getting better year after year, players such as Giannis Antetokounmpo, Kawhi Leonard, Nikola Vukovich, it makes it even harder for some other players in the other tiers to get some shine and recognition. But in this video, we are going to talk about 4 players who are having great seasons that are being slept on. So without further ado, let's start off with player number 4. Nikola Vukovich this season has had an all-star caliber year, and I definitely think if he consistently keeps putting up these numbers throughout the remainder of the season, as the Magic stay around the 6th to 8th slot, and even if they fall to the 9th slot, he should be an all-star. This season he's averaging just under 21 points, 12 rebounds, 4 assists, while shooting 53% from the field and 39% from 3, as well as 84% from the free throw line. Now we all know defensively Nikola Vukovich has never really been that great, and that's also been a big deal, especially for the Magic, because pick and roll defense is very valuable in today's league. But offensively, he has definitely taken a jump. Now, last year he showed some signs that he could shoot the 3 ball, but this year he's shooting it at nearly 40%. That is amazing and astounding, especially for a player that was really relegated to the post in the beginning of his career and now has extended it to the 3-point line. That definitely makes him valuable. And for a player that's going to be entering the later stages of his career soon, that's definitely going to prolong his career. And that definitely contributes to the Orlando Magic's success this season. Now, more than likely, the reason that people don't talk about Nikola Vukovich is, for one, the Magic started off hot last season and we all know how it ended for them. And also, like I said, it's the Orlando Magic. This is a team that has not ever been consistent. They have not found any type of positive strides ever since Dwight Howard left. Alfred Payton failed, other projects failed, and even though they have Aaron Gordon right now, I think we all expect them to trade him for some stupid player like they did for Victor Oladipo. So I definitely think that when it comes to why people are sleeping on him, it's because the team he's on. But he has put up really solid numbers. I'm talking elite level numbers. 21 and 12 is nothing to laugh at, especially shooting 39% from 3 and being very efficient from the field and shooting 53%. I gotta give him props and show him some love in this video. It's crazy how people slept on Jrue Holiday last season and they're kind of doing it again this season. Though I do know from 3 he is not shooting well at all. I will give you that. He's not even shooting 32%. But he is shooting very efficiently from the field at 47%, and he's also averaging a career high in points per game and assists with 9 assists a game and just under 21 points. And if we're being honest, I definitely think his 3-point percentage will be going up soon, because if you look at what he's done in the month of December, his shooting splits are 48% from the field and also 41% from 3 on 6.1 attempts, and he's making just under 3. So I definitely think that when it comes to his 3-point percentage, that will be rising up, because Jrue Holiday has always really been a really solid 3-point shooter. Not great or anything, but he's been a relatively decent 3-point shooter, and especially over the past few seasons, I think he's been relatively a little shaky, but he can definitely get that up to around 34 to 35% by the end of the season. And defensively, he is playing that at an elite level. I mean, I'm talking about a guy who locked up Damian Lillard in the playoffs last season. You think that's not going to carry over to this year? Because Jrue Holiday has been playing defense remarkably well. He's not only averaging 2 steals, but also nearly a block a game. So I got to show him some love on that defensive side of the ball. And he possibly will make another All-NBA defensive team, which I think he rightfully deserves. And the reason I think a lot of people are sleeping on him is because of the fact, for one, the Pelicans are not winning games. They're not even the 9th or 10th or even the 11th seed in the Western Conference. And a lot of people are focused on how great Anthony Davis has played, and they're kind of just overshadowing Jrue Holiday's play this season, because I definitely think he has played elite level basketball on the defensive side of the ball. Offensively, it can be a little bit better, especially from the 3-point line, but he has still been relatively efficient from the field overall. So offensively, I think he's played that at least good. So I got to give him props and show him some love in this video. I think it's safe to say that Paul George has played basketball on the Oklahoma City Thunder better than anybody on that roster. Yes, that includes Russell Westbrook. But that is a video for another day, because Paul George is not only playing basketball great on the offensive side of the ball, but defensively he is playing that better than arguably anybody in the league. Now to me, Kawhi Leonard is still my defensive player of the year, but if Paul George is your defensive player of the year, I have no problem with that at all, because he is playing defense right now better than arguably anybody in the league. And offensively, he is playing that extremely high as well, as this season he's averaging 25 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, as well as 2 steals, while shooting just under 45% from the field, 38% from 3, and 83% from the free throw line. And when you look at what Paul George has been able to accomplish over the past 10 to 15 games, it is remarkable how great he has been. I mean, I'm talking averages of 30 points per game, 8 rebounds, just under 5 assists, while shooting splits are through the roof of nearly 52% from the field, 45% from 3, and nearly 85% from the free throw line. He has played defense phenomenal, offense phenomenal, they're winning games. What more can I say about Paul George? He has definitely bounced back from probably the most disappointing season of his whole career, aside from the injury year of course, but he has definitely bounced back and he has had a remarkable year. I think he is among the 10 best players in the NBA right now. Yes, that is how high of a level he is playing, and I gotta show him some love. Now honestly, a lot of people still view this Oklahoma City Thunder team as Russell Westbrook's team, which I do understand because he has been the vocal leader and has been the best player on that team over the past 2 to 3 years. But when you look at what Paul George even did when Russell Westbrook went down, and what he is doing when Russell Westbrook is back, he has still maintained the same level of consistency, and that has been one of the biggest issues in Paul George's career, especially bouncing back from the season that he had last year, which was arguably his most disappointing year. Now granted, the playoffs have not come around, so I can't really completely give you a huge judgment on Paul George, but if he maintains this level not only throughout the season but in the playoffs, I definitely think we need to have another conversation on where Paul George ranks in the NBA, because I did not have him in the top 10 going into this season, and if he maintains this level in the postseason as well, I definitely gotta put him in the top 10 players in the NBA. Going into this season, I think a lot of people viewed the Clippers as a team that was too good to not tank, but a team that was not good enough to contend in the Western Conference, or even not good enough to make the playoffs in some people's eyes. But this season, not only have they played extremely well basketball all around, but they have definitely found a gem in the name of Tobias Harris, because this season Tobias Harris has played basketball nearly elite level. I mean, I'm talking averages of 21 points per game, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, while shooting 51% from the field, 40% from 3, and nearly 87% from the free throw line. This is remarkable basketball and great efficiency. Now defensively, he isn't playing that at an elite level or anything, but I definitely don't think he's some liability or some bad defender. I think he's just a solid defender. He isn't elite, he isn't great, but he's good. He's not anything special on the defensive side of the ball, but he can defend 1 through 4. He is one of the most flexible players in the league. A guy that can play the small forward position and power forward position. I definitely think that is a very valuable thing in the NBA. He can switch on pick and rolls, which is another valuable thing in the NBA, and also he is an elite level 3-point shooter now. This is a guy who in the beginning of his career could not shoot a lick from behind the arc, but now is shooting nearly 40% from 3 on nearly 5 attempts. That is elite level 3-point shooting, and that is legit improvement and growth in his game. Andrew Wiggins, I hope you can learn from someone like Tobias Harris. And also, when you look at what the Clippers are doing this season, you gotta give him some love, because the Clippers have been winning games consistently. They did that last season when he played, and they're also doing that this season, because this season, in the first 20 to 21 games that he played, he was averaging 21 points and a half, 8.5 rebounds, 2 assists, while shooting 53% from the field, 44% from 3, and 83% from the free throw line. But keep in mind, over the last 10 games since then, in the month of December, they are 3-7. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that Tobias Harris has not been playing the greatest basketball as of late, as though he is averaging 20 points in the month of December, but he's also shooting 46% from the field, which is nearly 10% less than the first 21 games, and he's not even shooting league average from 3. He's shooting 30% from 3. So you definitely got to look at how Tobias plays, and when he is not playing up to the level that he can play, this team does not win games. They are a losing team. So you got to look at the fact that he impacts whether they win or lose. If he has a great game, they win. If he has a bad game, they're probably not going to win that game. So when it comes to Tobias Harris's value, there is no question that his game leads to wins. And as a side note, Chicago, please throw this man a contract this offseason, please. Because for one, we need that talent. And two, Jabari Parker's not working out. And three, man, Tobias Harris is going to be one of the most underrated free agency signings, whoever gets him, because he's already declined the extension from the Clippers because he wants more money. So Chicago, please just throw that man that bag so he can get paid and we can have a solid young core. So you guys in the comment section, let me know what you think about this video. Also, you guys, if you're not subscribed, subscribe and subscribe to the second channel. You guys have a great day. I am out. Peace.